always sound. If we want the world to hear, we gotta make some noise.
Our guests today have both fought hard to stand up in their faith.
But didn't he always use the flawed and the broken to fulfill his ministry?
But even when the world wasn't trying to hear it, they stood in their conviction for what they believe.
They say to be Christ-like.
They're here today to loudly and proudly lift every voice.
Welcome, family. Lift Every Voice. Derek Watkins here, and we are at The Shave here in Beverly Hills. And just as it says in Proverbs 17:22, a merry heart is good like medicine. You see it, Affion Crockett here. You've seen him on Wild 'N Out. You've definitely been on his YouTube page, and you've probably seen the show he also produced on Fox, a sketch show. But today he's here with us to talk kingdom knowledge.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Chillin'?
Now we know each other, so
Yeah.
This
So
is this is a different.
I'm gonna
kind of,
try to give some information as if you don't already know.
Okay.
So like it's brand new, but
Yeah.
yeah, we know each other.
Well, let's go back, because literally you have been in the game literally almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So when was it that you decided, or did you get the unction that, comedy is my thing, or I have a love for comedy?
My love for comedy came from my mom. You know what I mean? I'm a military brat, so my dad was always, for weeks at a time off training and doing all kind of stuff. So I've seen my mom, she's from the island, so we'd be over in Germany somewhere, and she's missing her mom and her grandmother over in the island. So I would watch my mom tune into stuff like Benny Hill and SNL, and there was another sketch show called Fridays, and just watching her reaction to comedians on TV was like, okay. And what I started doing was I would imitate my mom's accent. She has a Trinidadian accent. So I would imitate her and my aunts, and then I would see that my mom was laughing at me the same way she would laugh at those people on TV. So I said, you know what, that makes my mom feel good. So subliminally, I started just kind of practicing, how can I make her laugh today? Even when she was mad at me, I was like, how can I make her laugh?
We had the same spiritual father,
Absolutely.
Clarence E. McClendon, Bishop. Do you ever find in your comedy, being funny, and that line between that and being like integral to your inner man?
Yeah, it can be a fine line to walk, but I try to make a practice of living my life on the moral side most of the time anyway. So sometimes it'll hit my spirit. Like, case in point, there was a project I was working on, and they wanted me to do a sketch where it was Jesus and his homies, the disciples, but it was like a modern day version of that.
Okay.
Kind of like, Entourage.
Okay.
Them trying to get into the club, and the premise was, they can't get into the club until the superstar shows up. So you can holler at the doorman and be like, yo, I'm with Jesus. Come on, man, let me in. And then Jesus comes in, and we go into the club, and I was cool with that. Because I know that God has a sense of humor. If he made me in his image, and laughter is the best medicine, then why would he give me this gift and it's not from him, or it's gonna help people, but it's not from him?
Right.
So anyway, I can laugh at that, and I felt like he could laugh at that. And Jesus hung out with the tax collectors and the sinners, went to the parties, went to the clubs. He did all that. He was more relatable. It was the Pharisees that made all the rules and was on that Old Testament, whatever, right? So in the sketch, I look at the new script. You know how they always doing rewrites.
Yeah.
I come in the day of the shoot, and the new script says they get in the club, Jesus is smoking weed with the disciples, he's tipping and putting things in places, women and whatever, his money, and I said, we're not doing that. And they looked at me like, man, that's gonna be off the chain, that's gonna be funny. I'm like, no. I'll give you the disciples, let them do their thing, because they were hard-headed anyway. And he was always trying to teach them, like, come on, man, you've been with me this long, have you not learned that you can do these miracles and stuff too?
Yeah.
But they was like, come on, man, it'll be funny. And I stood my ground, and I said, I'm not doing that. I'll be in the club as Jesus, praying, encouraging, trying to get them to not wild out too much, but I was gonna play Jesus as Jesus, the real Jesus, not the perfect, model that Christianity tries to get us to become. What I mean by that is the church, as I've experienced it, right? They say to be Christ-like, and they preach Jesus, but not realizing that Jesus was relatable.
Oh, right, okay, I'm with you.
Not to say that he wasn't perfect. What I mean is he put himself in situations that most church people today don't put themselves in.
doubt.
And if they put themselves in it, they would call it sin, or they would call it whatever, which the reality is they go to the club anyway.
Well, I say all the time, I think some of the most judgmental people a lot of times are the people in the church.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately. I'm glad you clarified that, because that is relevant. And,
Yeah.
I appreciate you articulating that. Let's stop down here. Ladies and gentlemen, do not move that dial. More with my man Affion Crockett when we get back. This is Lift Every Voice.
In his own voice, Affion is grateful to have this chance to talk about his faith when most people don't want to take him seriously.
I think a lot of people of faith get caught up in, I gotta wait on the Lord. I'm just waiting for him to tell me what my next move is. He said do business.
That's right.
And the truth is, you can't be sad around children. I mean, you absolutely cannot
It's
be sad
impossible.
around
There's too much going on.
And the
You're right.
sixth graders I was around today had me cracking up, but it challenges you and pushes you.